Poppy Salon has built something pretty remarkable in central Minnesota. What started as a dream shared by two sisters and their best friend has grown into one of the most recognized and award-winning salons in the region. Behind all the accolades is a story of vision, evolution, and the courage to pivot when most people would stay the course. Today we're sitting down with co-owner Jackie Hyndman to talk about what it's like to grow a brand people trust, how to stay relevant in a fast-moving industry, and what it takes to have the courage to make a change, even when things are working. Welcome to Behind the Brand, the podcast for small business owners, solopreneurs, and aspiring entrepreneurs who are ready to start strong, stand out, and stay bold. I'm Taylor.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Isabella, and we're part of the powerhouse team of marketers at Moxie Creative.
We're taking you behind the scenes to explore what it takes to build and grow a memorable brand.
Ready to get behind the brand? Let's dive in. Today we're joined by Jackie Hyndman, 1/3 of the powerhouse trio behind Poppy Salon. Alongside her sister and best friend, she's grown the business into central Minnesota's most award-winning salon. Jackie's here to share the behind the scenes of what it really takes to stay on top and keep evolving. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, Jackie.
I'm excited to be here.
Our team has worked with Poppy for many years now. It's extra fun to have you here. You're a longtime client and apparently a longtime listener to the podcast.
I crammed all of them into last week. I listened to them like nonstop, and it's just been a lot of fun to get to know other businesses that you guys work with too. And I was saying we have a lot in common with you guys.
Yeah, I love that. So for anyone who hasn't had the joy of sitting in Poppy's chair, I used to go to Poppy all the time. Can you give us a quick origin story of how Poppy came to be?
Yeah. It's always not so quick, but I'll try to give an abbreviated version.
We got time.
So I was working in Minneapolis at Jute Salon, and I bounced around a few locations there while I was doing my master's at Hamlin. I loved it so much on their guest service team. I worked my way up to management. And then personal tragedy of ours, Alex and I, she's my sister, our dad passed away in 2011, very suddenly. And I was living away from my family, and I just wanted to be home. And so I called Nikki and Alex, and I said, "Do you guys want to open up a salon?" And they thought I was nuts. And they're nuts too, apparently, because they said yes. So I moved home in 2012, and we built our business plan and spent a lot of time in the hot tub at my mom's house, drinking wine, coming up with potential business names and some really ridiculous ones. And then we landed on Poppy, and it just kind of stuck. And for the most part, for it being a memorial flower. So it kind of represented why we got together and why we started in memory of my dad.
Oh, I
Our
love
dad.
that.
Did you call your dad Pops or no?
No, we didn't.
But it was
kind of an homage.
I love the way that kind of all comes around, and then when you get that name, it's like perfect, right?
Yeah, it really was, and it was the only one that we all agreed on. Yep. And then it worked wonderfully for our marketing, and which has evolved ever since then. And yeah, that's kind of how it
So
started.
11 years now?
11 and a half. Wait, we were open 2013.
Yeah.
So this year, it'll be 12 and a half years in January. Or 12 years in, oh my God, I can't do math.
If it's 12 years, yeah.
Thank
because
you.
2 years ago, we did your website for the
Yes.
I think we need to redo your website.
Yeah.
again.
I know, I think we're up to maybe another refresh. I can't believe it's been that long already. Oh my gosh, time flies.
Whenever we need some work, we just call Jackie. I'm like, let's update.
Yeah, we're always down for staying ahead of the curve. Yep.
You definitely are. And I think that is something that has helped you guys build such a wonderful reputation. I have actually gone to Jute as well. I went to college at the University of St. Thomas. So
Wonderful.
I had frequented the Jute on Grand Ave a few times as a college student. And then I moved to St. Cloud, and I had to find a new salon because I was like,
Sure.
I don't know where I'm going to get my hair done. But I
Yeah.
didn't really just want any salon.
Because you're a Twin City snot.
Yeah. Well, at that point in time in my life, I'm a mom now, so like I'm lucky if I can get my grays covered. But at that point in my life, like my hair was like my thing,
Yeah,
you know.
big deal.
And so I wanted to find a salon that matched what I was looking for, and
Yeah.
that happened to be Poppy.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, wonderful testimonial.
yeah,
and
very
and
cool.
I really do feel like Poppy is not just another salon. Obviously, you are one of the most award-winning salons in the area, and that doesn't happen by accident, right? So what do you think has really attributed to the kind of reputation that you guys have built?
We really focus on customer care. And I think that's really hammered home from the time that you walk in the door, from the time that you leave. So we work really hard on our guest service team I mean, it's not that hard. They're fantastic. They're wonderful. Like, you walk in and they smile right away and welcome you. We have a waiting area that is comfortable, and we have beverages and snacks available for people to have for free with their services. And then their services are on time. They're greeted by their stylist or their service provider on time, which is a big deal to us. And then I just think the level of service, the quality of the services that we provide are exceptional. Like, our team, they're so talented. They're so talented. And, you know, having come from a background in Minneapolis and seeing all the people that I met in those salons who are so incredibly talented, to be able to mirror that sort of image and deliver that kind of service to the central Minnesota area has been fantastic.
Yeah. What are some of the services that you guys provide at Poppy?
We've done almost everything over the last few years. And I mean, we did everything. We did nails, we did hair, we did color, all of it, waxing, body waxing. And, you know, we've done everything throughout the years, and we've just found that we're really good at what we're really good at. And that is hair and color and haircuts. And we also do facial waxing.
But you don't have to do all that spa stuff necessarily. Yeah.
No. And like you said in a previous episode, do what you do best and outsource the rest. And so, you know, we are more than eager to give recommendations to other salons that do services that we do not provide. And sometimes services that we also provide, we will, you know, recommend other salons as well. So, you know, we just want to be nice, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
You guys are so nice. And I just the style. Just like sitting by you, I'm like, oh, I need some style.
Oh, yeah,
I remember
right? I know, right?
I remember one time Jackie said, I like your jeans. I'm like, really?
Oh my gosh, stop.
I
no.
got them in Walmart, you know, like one of those.
That's funny. I got these at Walmart.
I know. No, but your whole team. I mean, there's
Yeah.
You walk in and they're just so. I mean, you three gals are so beautiful, and then it's
that's
like
really
so
sweet.
nice,
Right?
though.
Is it
Yeah.
Sam?
God.
Does Sam always have color, like really colorful hair?
Used to.
to.
Yeah, that was her thing.
Yeah,
Now
and
she's
so-
got back dark.
Yeah, and I always was like, I want
Yeah.
to have hair like Sam.
Just
She has the coolest hair.
Yeah, and no matter what color her hair is and what length her hair is, she just always looks so cool.
Yeah, you definitely stay on top of like the creative trends, and you're just kind of like a breeding ground for inspiration when you walk in there.
thank you.
And how do you guys go about that to really make your salon kind of the trendsetter?
Oh my goodness. It's always so hard because when we started Poppy, our goal was to always be ahead of the curve with whatever that is. And normally that's, you know, what goes through, you know, California, then it makes its way over. Maybe it's in New York, and then eventually it converges into the Midwest and works its way to Minneapolis and works its way up. So we're kind of like last ones to get those. So trying to be ahead of that curve is difficult, but I think we look a lot to our younger generation really for the inspiration to stay ahead of the game, but also for reassurance. Like, are we cool?
Are we still cool?
Yeah, like,
is this still in? Yeah, I say that all the time to them. They're like,
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, did that sound old? What am I? Oh, I don't know what
Have
that
you ever heard of
means.
that
Like,
saying?
Yeah. So we have a huge mix of our demographic is wide for our age at our salon, and it's wonderful because
Yeah.
we get a little mix of everything.
Do you encourage a lot of like continuous education for your stylists? Is that a
Yeah.
priority for you guys?
Yeah, we have wonderful people that we work with at Beauty Craft that provide us with fantastic in-salon education and out-of-salon education. Nikki, Alex, and Sam actually were just invited to Canada for a tour and a exclusive class of our color line. So
Okay.
we use Oligo Color, and it's made in Canada, and it's a phenomenal, top-notch color line that we're so excited to have and use. They were flown out there to tour the facilities and with, you know, have a class with the owner creators of the
Wow.
line. I
How
mean,
fun.
Yeah, what a cool
so
opportunity.
Yeah. I was supposed to go, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't do hair. So,
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Send someone else, huh?
yeah.
You had said you were doing your master's at Hyndman, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe she doesn't do hair. So what is your role in the salon? Obviously, it's a very important one, but
Operation.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm like, I hope they still need me around. But I call myself like salon operations.
okay.
So I do a lot of the finances. We do have an accountant, of course.
Of course you do.
Of course. And she's wonderful. But yeah, my job, I do a lot of the marketing. So
Okay.
I'll do a lot of the small projects
Yeah.
like social media and putting together little Canva campaigns and things like that,
Yeah.
emails. I have a really great partner in crime, Carrie Pansky, who's our salon manager. She's also one of our best friends.
I love that.
That's a whole nother
Oh,
line.
we'll get into it. We'll get into talking about that.
Hiring your
wonderful.
friends.
She does our HR. She's our HR gal and our payroll and just my sounding board and my conscience.
Someone
Yeah.
to run things by.
Yes.
Your
She's
filter. Yeah,
wonderful.
we all need a filter.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you touched on is you do some of the marketing, and so that's a great segue into the next piece I want to talk about. So like I mentioned, Moxie has been a marketing partner of yours for quite a few years.
Yes.
Helped on some versions of the website over the years, and in 2023 there was a really big milestone. You guys hit 10 years.
Yeah.
And you decided we're going to shake things up and do a little bit of a rebrand.
Yep.
And it's a totally new look from
Yeah.
what you guys had to what you have now.
And we had just done it in 2020?
Yeah.
But 3 years is a long time for styles.
Yeah,
trendsetters
Especially
like
with
them.
COVID in there, it's like I just felt the urge to purge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all did. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's a great point when we're talking. You're in such a creative industry and you are trying to be the innovators in the area. Sitting on a website for a long time is probably not the best move. So it came time for a rebrand. What are some of the deciding factors that went into that besides the need to purge?
I mean, we're all getting older. I feel like, our clientele has grown with us since we've opened. I mean, I think 28 when we opened. Alex was 23,
Oh, wow.
I believe. Nikki's my same age, but we're in a totally different space, totally different world right now. And what was cool to us then is not necessarily as cool to us now. And just trying to keep up with all of that is really...
But I think you were wanting to update the salon. I always felt
Yeah.
like it was either a photo shoot or a little painting that kind of always spurred kind
You're
of.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
We
gosh,
got
that's
this really
funny.
cool photo shoot. Let's do a website around it. They always have really cool photos. Or it was let's update the salon and we want the kind of the feel to change, which that is interesting
Yes.
because all those things kind of, you don't have to do one and the other together, but that was always kind of the impetus with you guys. If you're going to change one thing, you kind of wanted it all to happen at the same time.
Yeah, and that's my nature. Is like everything at once.
Yeah.
And then you have your business partners that kind of pull you back a little bit and let's do a little bit now and a little bit then. But yeah, that's funny that you brought that up because I completely forgot about that.
You kind of like wanted to freshen up
Yeah.
and simplify the salon. And
Yeah.
that's, if I'm thinking back, the reason why she couldn't, she's like, she had written one website and then I was trying to count.
It was so many.
I just wrote many versions because I couldn't even remember how many we did because it was
many.
Yeah.
And they were all my favorite. They're all wonderful, but they all had different themes to them.
Yeah.
So different. And this time around, it's like we kind of just wanted to have a little bit more of a mature look, not meaning like dowdy or old, or, we definitely feel older than when we started. And we're reminded that daily by our young gals that are running around. But
a little more minimal and sophisticated.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's very
Yeah.
sophisticated. It has a bit more of a high-end feel.
That's what we were going for, and you guys nailed
But
it.
I
Nailed
would
it.
say that every time we did it, it had a high-end feel. It was
Yeah.
just different styles.
Yeah,
really,
right.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
I want to go back a little bit about what you're talking about trend setting and styles and stuff. What I learned about writing their websites and talking to them is that it seems like you guys, how can you predict the next trend?
Right.
And then by the time you follow it, it's too late. So I don't know how you guys do that, but definitely I think the expression of what you guys wear. I mean, I'm looking at your outfit and your tattoos and you're always changing your hair and the creativity just kind of comes, oozes out of you. I feel like that about your whole team. But when I was really digging in and writing about the website, how you guys say that you want to everyone to feel beautiful.
Yeah.
And as we wrote about that, it's like it was their time to bloom type of a thing. And the individuality, I would say, when you look at the stylist photographs and what we were trying to do on the website was like, let them be the art.
Right.
And we'll pull back everything else a little bit was kind of the idea.
Yep.
But I just think that, like I said, you guys are so beautiful and cool, but you're so nice. And when you walk in there, it's so cool, but everyone's so nice and you want everyone to feel beautiful. And so
Yes.
it's not like maybe walking into a Minneapolis kind of salon. I don't feel like people feel intimidated when they come into your
No.
salon. And
I
so
sure
we
hope
wanted
not.
and I learned that and we try to write that in the website. And I love some of those things, like you are beautiful just how you are.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something,
Yeah.
we're here.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here for you. Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
As a salon that has such a strong reputation in the community. I mean, I think you've won, Central Minnesota's best like every year
10
it's been
years?
possible.
It was 8 years in a row, which was very cool.
That's a long time. So clearly, what you were doing was working. So the pivot could have been a little bit scary. How did that feel for you? How did that feel for Alex and Nikki?
Yep.
How did that feel as a team to be like, okay, we're going to take this in a whole new direction, a whole new look, even though things are working?
Like I said, it's just kind of in my nature to want to shake things up a little bit. And it felt comfortable and it felt right. Nikki and I both turned 40. We're 41 now. We have matured in this business and we do things differently in our business than other salons, not just in the area, but I feel like in Minnesota as a whole and across the country. And we pride ourselves in that. So stepping away from what was into what is now felt comfortable to us, really. And like we belong, we deserve almost to look that way.
Right. Yeah. I remember it was just an email. Hey, we're thinking about, change up the website. Do you want to, should we meet? Type of a thing. But I also remember you guys were comfortable with it and you trusted us, which we loved.
Yeah.
But you didn't know what you wanted it to look like. Not
No.
really at all.
And that can't be so fun for you guys.
Yeah.
And
Actually, it is.
Okay.
if I do recall, it was a very much trust the process experience. We had, we had put some stuff out there and it was like, no, that's not it. And I think you guys maybe got a little shell shocked, like, okay, I don't know if we bit off more than we can chew or whatnot, but you worked with us and we got there and
No, it's great.
I love the end result. That O in that logo is
That
my
has-
favorite O that has ever existed.
Yeah, it's great.
I think every time we've done it with you guys, Jackie said, maybe this is not quite it.
Yeah.
And, but we appreciate that relationship. And that's what, even the guys, that people think that artists get their feelings hurt. Well, no, we want clients to tell us, what do you think? We're trying to get inside your head and we want to know. And sometimes you guys don't know. And then you guys meet on your own. And that was that's a process, but it was the end result was so good.
Yeah.
And sometimes we take a break, like, okay, I can't do this right now.
Yep.
Got to take a break. I think we had to do that at one point, but then we
it
came
was
back around and we got
awesome.
it. Yeah.
And I feel that way in our business as well, where we want you to be satisfied and happy. And if you're not giving us feedback, we can't fix it,
Right.
we can't make it perfect or as close to perfect as we can. So you guys have a great process with that as well.
Yeah, and that can be scary. I've sat in a stylist chair before a couple times, however that's happened, and it's like, that wasn't quite right. And I have just walked out of the salon
I know.
okay,
I've
I
done
don't
it too.
love it, right?
Yeah.
But then I leave it and I'm always like, I bet they really would have appreciated if I would have said something,
yes.
but it's scary
Yep.
to,
It is scary.
to, give that feedback and kind of knock on someone's craft, so to speak. Like they've just put so much time and energy. And so, it can feel like, oh, I'm really poo-pooing all over everything that they did.
But wouldn't you rather have the chance to maybe fix it
100%.
than them never coming
Come back. Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Or risk
So
having somebody have a different view of your business based on somebody's feedback, and when we could have really made it much better.
Yeah.
And when we weren't hearing from you, I was like, okay, I think something's going on. Because we just know you, you know what I mean? And then we're like, oh, we're really busy. And then, I remember that. I think you're looking for this. And you're like, that's it. And
Yeah.
we're almost like, okay, I think you're trying to
Okay.
say this.
Yeah,
You guys
right.
have
You're saying
always
one
been
thing and
so patient.
Yeah.
So
Well,
patient.
that is how it goes. It is a trust the process kind of thing. Since we rebranded into Moxie, I've been on a lot of branding projects, more than I ever was before. When a client comes in and they're, we're starting a branding project with them, that's the number one thing I say, and I say it a lot of times, like, just trust the process.
Yeah.
We will not be there on the first try. We will not be there on the second try.
Right.
But by the third try, hopefully we're getting pretty damn close.
Right. Well, and that's the same too, is like how many people come into the salon and sit down and we say, what do you want to do today? And they're like, I don't know, what should I do? And then you start from that, beginning spot.
Exactly. Like I said, the end result of what you guys have, we absolutely love it. We have it hanging up in our hallway
That's
for all of our
awesome.
guests to see when
love
they
it.
come and,
Yeah.
have to use the bathroom. But something that we talked about a little bit, and I want to just dive in a bit more on it, is running a business with your sister and your best friend. That can probably be very scary. And I'm sure, when you ask them, you're like, I was crazy and asked, and they were crazy and said yes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was some reservations on everybody's side of like, is this really the right move to make? Business is hard and it can ruin relationships really quickly.
Absolutely.
So what, has that been like for you guys? Dream team, or are you like, I want to kill you today?
Alex and I are different because we're sisters. So we have that dynamic, and Nikki knows that. Nikki's kind of our middleman. Like, she'll keep us in our
She the tiebreaker?
corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. But from the very beginning, the only hesitation that we felt was from my mom, in terms of like, she didn't want to see that happen to us, that we would get
Hate
into a
each other.
position where we had to separate. And that was the one reservation that came up. But we assured her, this is not, this will be great. It'll be great. And we've had our issues, all of us, not just Alex and I, all three of us. And it's three completely different minds collaborating on one thing, and everybody has a different opinion. And even till to today, we still disagree on some things, but then we compromise, and we love each other so much. And I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. Yeah.
Has your dynamic and your roles, have they evolved,
Yes.
over the course of the
Yeah.
12 plus years, whatever the fast math is?
Yeah. Because at first it was just the three of us. So all three of us were just trying to stay afloat. I did the front desk for years. And then, when it got to me needing to do other things, we had to hire a front desk team. And so my role has definitely evolved, and Nikki and Alex as well. Alex does a lot of our inventory stuff. So she's on top of our retail inventory, our hair extension inventory. She teaches hair extensions. She's phenomenal at it. If it's all she could do every day, she would. She's wonderful. And then Nikki really handles a lot of our stylist education and also our service back bar. So she's on top of all of our color purchasing and things that we need day to day for services.
Are they still doing hair though?
Yes.
Staying atop?
Full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So
Yes.
they're doing all this on the
Behind,
on the side.
behind the chair. And so that's another thing that is kind of interesting about us, is that we really don't have a lot of time together besides Tuesdays. We've really made our day to sort of come together and have meetings and be able
Sure.
to chat and
Yeah, that's
make
good.
decisions.
And here we are taking
On
your
a
time on a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, no, it's great.
She had time.
And then when I left, they both had clients. So I was like, this is great. Okay, you're busy, I'm busy, we're all busy. Yeah, we take that time for ourselves. Otherwise, they're behind the chair, and then we're juggling. If there happens to be a client conflict, if there's something that comes up with us not having a product, if there's color formulation questions, they're always available. I'm always available. We always say we have an open door policy, and it's true.
That's nice, because I know for me, it's important for me to still work in the business. I mean, not that only because we need me, but I just don't want to get outdated. Like, I want to know, like, I don't want to be that, person giving the goofy advice or whatever.
Right.
So still want to practice your craft, even though you're also a business owner, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. And I don't know that there will be a day that we won't be doing things as we're doing them.
Right.
I'm a hands-on business owner. Like, we're there every day. We don't take much time off. And when we do take time off, we come back and we're like, what did we miss?
Yeah.
Get me back in the loop. And it's fun. Like, I just...
'Cause you enjoy that part too.
We
right?
enjoy coming to work.
Do you have any sage advice for someone that is maybe thinking about starting a family/friend-owned business, or someone that is in one?
She thought you were going to talk about how to start a family. The way you said that. She's like,
Starting a family.
Yeah.
Not me, but yeah, I mean, I would just say, look at all of try to anticipate possible scenarios, but there's always going to be something that comes up, and lean on your family and your friends for help. Our mom has been fantastic. All of our parents have been fantastic in this, one way or another. And then friends, I mean, we work with a lot of our friends, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Carrie, our salon manager, I was saying, we went to grade school, middle school together. Nikki and I have known each other since first grade.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those relationships within the salon, which people could think maybe makes that difficult, especially when something comes down to, like, maybe I need to talk to somebody about something that's a little deep. We all handle things like adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
so,
nice.
what I'm hearing is,
because you have to have those conversations sometimes, right?
yeah, what I'm hearing is that it doesn't have to be scary. You
No.
know, I think people look at, I'm going to get in business with my sister, my brother, my cousin. This is going to go bad, because you only hear the horror stories.
Right.
And that's everything in life, right?
Yeah.
You only hear the really bad things. You never hear the positive things.
Right.
So I love you coming on and just sharing that experience. Like, it is fun.
It
but
has been
act like
great.
an adult.
Yeah, that's what it boils down
Can
to.
we talk?
Clean up after yourself. Act like an adult. That's basically what it is.
Right.
Clean up after yourself.
Treat others the
Yeah.
way you'd like to be treated.
Right.
Those are big tenets of ours.
Yeah, I
So.
love that. That's great. We've mentioned a few times your salon is a trendsetter, award-winning, innovative, all of these things. So what's next for Poppy?
Well, we are coming up on 10 years at the location that we're at currently, which is insane.
That feels crazy.
Uh-huh. So, yeah.
Because when I moved here, you guys were in the little barn.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still like home to us.
Yeah.
And when I drive by, it's so nostalgic. It was just the cutest little place.
Yes.
And
But too small for you.
too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You outgrew
Too
it.
small. And then we moved into the space we're in right now, and we really made it our own. And we are just feeling like we probably want to have a standalone and build possibly or buy our next space, and we'll see what happens with that. And then who knows what that would shake up as well, as far as the three of us and who might join our team, who might come with us, who might choose to go out on their own, which they're more than welcome to. We're excited for our team if they decide that's what they'd like. And
Okay, I want to talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Because, for one thing, I don't even know how many salons there are in St. Cloud. Do you know how
So
many?
many. No, I don't know.
So
So
many.
many.
So many, yeah.
So are you crazy for starting a salon? We'll talk about that later. Two,
Yes.
when stylists leave, which they do,
Yeah.
I've always found it so interesting that you don't get upset about it.
No, and well, I should say that we don't now. It's very hard to not take those things personally and think that there's things that you could have done differently to keep them.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like everybody has their own dreams and aspirations, and so did I. And I branched out and did what I did,
Yeah.
and so did Nikki and Alex. And it's a tough transition, but we're happy to be a part of that transition for those individuals and know that they're successful where they're at. I mean, one of our ex-employees went off on her own, and she opened up her own booth rental salon recently, and it's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I went for a spray tan, and I was like, this place is so cute. And we want to be that salon that supports them and supports other salons in the area. And that's something that in this industry is not done.
Exactly. Very
Yeah.
much abundance-y,
Yeah.
not scarcity
Yeah.
mentality.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you're, honestly, you're training, but you're working with these people and training them, and
Yep.
then they move on, and you're like, oh, now I got to start over, and another
Right.
one does it. And how many have we seen? Like, oh, she used to work at Poppy. She used to work at Poppy.
And hopefully then it's like continue to do that excellent work.
Yeah.
And continue to grow and learn, on
Pay
your
it
own.
forward.
Yeah, totally. Pay it forward. And we're really happy to see
Yeah.
other people's success.
Yeah. And
That's
then you also have to look at it, okay, one person leaves, that means there's a chair open for
Somebody-
a new
yeah.
stylist to come in.
But you
and-
have to fix your brain
and-
with that.
Yeah,
I think,
that's
sometimes,
yes, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's
Yep.
very, very mature. I
Yeah.
love it.
Very much acting like an adult.
Yeah. And that's with growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so before we let you go, we ask our guests, every guest that we ask them 2 questions.
know.
Okay, so you maybe know what the questions are. Sometimes guests get to see them beforehand, and sometimes they don't. Both ways is good. So, what is your go-to business tip for someone who is thinking about starting a business?
Ooh. I knew these questions, and yet I did not take enough time to prepare for them.
That's just fine. Off the cuff, those are the best
right.
answers.
I just think be confident. Like, I think we spent, and I can speak for myself in particular, a lot of years in the salon second guessing myself and wondering, oh gosh, is this too much? Is this not enough? Am I going to offend somebody? Am I going to turn away business? And we certainly don't ever want to offend anybody, but we certainly want to be ourselves and be authentic. And that's where it's kind of like breaking the mold a little bit as far as how we do things. So just don't be afraid to go outside the box and have confidence in that and just try. Yeah. Try. Yeah. What's it going to hurt?
Right.
Really.
I love that. And then when you guys were on your journey to Poppy, what was a piece of advice that someone told you that made a difference?
Oh, gosh. I got so much advice, and I can throw it all the way back to my Jute days. I had some incredible mentors at Jute, and just incredible advice. This is a good one. And this is my uncle. On-the-job training is the most expensive kind of training. You can't go to school for some of these things.
Yeah.
And I didn't, certainly. I went for English
Yeah.
at St. Cloud State. And I'm like, I don't think that really did much for me other than bring me out of my shell a little bit, which is fabulous. But yeah, just, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to learn on the go.
Yeah. And those mistakes might be expensive, but you will learn from them. You will do things better the next time. And that's all that it comes down to, is just, it's just experience. Really.
Yeah. I love that.
No.
I love that. Yeah, not being afraid to make mistakes. I think that
Yeah.
is something that if someone, if you're determined to start a business, I think that is something that can hold you back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid that I'm going to screw this up. I'm afraid
Yeah.
that
Paralyzed
XYZ
by
is going to
perfection.
happen. And then,
Yeah.
paralyzed by perfection. So,
Oh, yeah,
I think
totally.
that's great advice.
And that's what we worried about too, because we've done things differently where we've closed weekends. And when we did that, I was like, oh gosh, is this the right choice? But it was the right choice for our team to have that work-life balance.
Did the clients adapt?
They did. Yep.
That was, yeah.
They
I
did,
heard
and
that was a scary one because you don't hear about that with
So
salons.
scary. But our clients are fantastic and really
Yeah.
understand that we have families too.
Yeah.
We have lives. We show up for our clients. We give it our all. It is a taxing job for them behind the chair with the amount of people that they see and the conversations that they have. It's deep. And they end up taking a lot home with them. You
Yeah.
know, so there's got to be that time to just,
Decompress.
yes, thank you.
Recharge.
Yes.
Being a stylist is not easy work. It might be
No.
fun, but it's not easy.
Yeah. It is a tough job, but a
Yeah.
rewarding job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. Well, Jackie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
It
you.
has been such a joy to watch Poppy grow over the years. And we're even more excited for the next chapter and what's
Yeah.
next. Maybe a new location, maybe another
Yeah.
new brand.
Who knows?
New-
Yeah.
Sounds like
A new
5 new
website?
websites,
Yeah.
all
New
the
building, new
fun stuff.
website.
Yeah. New signage.
Yeah.
The opportunities are
yeah.
endless.
We're gonna
Sky's the limit.
start. We're gonna start the mood boards now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Behind the Brand. We will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Behind the Brand. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend. If you didn't, share it with an enemy. To keep up with us, follow along on our socials. Links are in the show notes below.